Welcome back to another episode of Rob Sports Center. As you can see by the title, we're going to be taking another look at that 2005 NFL draft class. And for this video, we have Mr. Ashton Jeanty. Now, this is a name that I heard a lot throughout the season, but I never really had a chance to kind of check him out. So I'm excited to, be able to really watch him play and be able to watch him play in detail for the first time. So this play right here kind of stood out to me, obviously, just seeing I'm looking and seeing when you evaluating running back, sometimes you got to kind of look and see what's the actual situation. And what I mean by that is okay, does he have a solid offensive line? Because if you got a good offensive line blocking for you, it can make a running back that's not necessarily like that look like he's like that because of the blocking. But on this play right here, it's a couple of people that had shots on him before in the backfield before he can even get anything going, and he's able to make two people miss and then even get into the second level and make a few guys miss. One thing I'm seeing from him is that you're not going to be able to tackle him with arm tackles. You know what I mean? In order to bring a guy down that's like that, that's as powerful as he is, and that has that good balance, that you're going to have to try to put a body on him. And as a defense, you're going to have to try to rally to the ball and not rely on just maybe one person, because if you rely on one person, then things like that happen to where he's able to make guys miss and keep running for extra yardage when it could have been minimized. But, so far I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen on this first play. So on this play right here, he had pretty good blocking from the offensive line. You got the tight end that pulled around that was able to seal that block right there, and he kind of just, finished it off. Now, the thing about it is that, when you're looking at a running back too, a lot of his damage I've been seeing has kind of been in between the tackles, strong, hard runs, whether it's in the red area or whether it was from the previous clip. So this was one of the first ones I seen that shows that he actually has that home run ability. You look at where they pretty much like they at the 25, and he takes it. I think it was at the 25. I think it was a 75-yard touchdown run. Now, something that's also crazy too is that in this particular game and on this particular play, he actually set a record at Boise State for 6 rushing touchdowns in one game. So he was able to carry. So it tells you that he's able to carry the workload of an offense. Now, I don't know how it was game to game in terms of his touches. Was he touching the ball at that high of a volume? But seeing that he was able to do that over the course of this game shows you that he has that toughness and that grit that you would like to have in a running back. And I'm all for that when it comes to the physicality. I'm big on physicality, and having a running back that can hit you in both ways, whether it's with finesse or whether it's with power in between tackles, or whether it's with that home run ability to stretch a defense out for 70-some yards plus, that's something that, that can easily translate over into the NFL. This is something that I did not realize from watching the first few clips. The record-breaking game he had against the team, what was that, Georgia Southern or whoever that was, that record-breaking game where he had 6 rushing touchdowns. I didn't pay attention to that, how he started the season off. That was week 1, man. So that was pretty much foreshadowing to teams that this was going to be a rough year if you had to a rough game if you had to run up across Boise State. But on this play right here, once again, he's having to get it out the mud. You look at the block down, the no block right there, bam. He could have been hit right there, bam. 2 guys right there. He's able to slip free from the first one and then run into 2 guys and bounce off of them and keep it pushing. Like I said, he's a running back that they really still weren't even able to bring him down. He just ended up going out of bounds. But like I said, he's one of those running backs that if you cannot arm tackle him, you have to put a body on him. You have to put a body on him. If not, he's just going to keep going. You know what I mean? He's pretty physical. He's pretty fast. And when you got a guy that's that fast and physical, that's a pretty deadly combination. And, you want to make sure that you're putting a body in as well as rallying. And that's something that Oregon wasn't really doing right there. Because if they was rallying, then, okay, the first person that might get to him might not break him down, but it'll slow him down and allow for us to come on the back end and clean it up. But like I say, that's one of the things I'm noticing. And obviously Oregon is a pretty good football team, but I'm just looking at, okay, how much did he have to work with? Did he have a good offensive line? And this is one of the second plays that I've seen him kind of take a bad situation. Like I say, right here, he could have been tackled. Bam, that would have been in the backfield for a possible loss. Then right there, he could have been tackled and it would never been a first down. But with his playmaking ability, with his physicality and his balance, he's able to, extend the play and make something out of nothing, essentially. Right here, we got another home run ball. The ball is at the 30, and he's able to take it the length of the field. But on this play, from a defensive standpoint, I want you guys to take a look at number 2 and the other guy. I can't see what number it is, but it's about to get ready to pop up. These 2 guys did a very good job at taking themselves out the play. Watch them. Watch number two. Watch number two. Bam. So number two, he can't, for whatever reason, he went, as Jeanty was coming up the middle, he went to the far right. And as well as the other guy that looked like a corner from the outside, because on that, when they sent the receiver in motion here, watch, he comes from the outside. And he had the block sealed, the guy that was on the outside. Now you had the other guy, I think he drove down from the safety position and he went to the outside as well when the corner already did his job to turn the run inside, but he went and acted as if he was outside containment. Watch, the corner seals the outside. Bam. You look at him and the other safety. Both of them essentially took themselves out the play, and the offense was able to get some type of push up front to create a lane, a hole bit for him to be able to burst through and take the ball the length of the field, but like I said, once again, it shows you his big playability, and then also it shows you his vision too, to see that both of those guys are out of place and to hit the hole with no hesitation, and then allow for that top end speed to just kick in and just, completely run away from Oregon's defense. So this dude right here is just a walking explosive play potential. So right here we have another long touchdown run, and once again, what did I say? You have to put a body on him and you have to rally. So this was just poor tackling on Washington State's part. But at the end of the day, you got to think about it from Jeanty's perspective. Look at how many times right there. Bam, bam. Those were times like this. This play is not supposed to happen. Right? This play was supposed to be hit in the backfield, or this play was supposed to have been stopped for maybe a minimal, I would say maybe 2 to 3 yard gain. But when you have a guy that's as good as him, then there's really never, you always, like how they say you have a puncher's chance in boxing. It's like that with him. When you have a guy that's this good, you always have that puncher's chance of making something happen. So you'll hear me talk about being able to play on script and off script, right? That's the difference between, average, good, and great players. Average players can succeed on script. Good players can succeed on script and occasionally maybe off script, but great players can exceed at playing on script and playing off script at a consistent level. So you might say, okay, what is on script and off script? On script is when everything goes the right way. When your offensive line is blocking for you, when your receivers are blocking downfield, and you had the holes open up like the Red Sea was being parted. That's what you call on script. Now, off script is when, as soon as you take the ball, you got a guy already waiting to hit you in the backfield, and you're able to make him miss. And then you got 2 other guys coming up. You're able to make both of those guys miss. Exactly what he did on this play right here. You got this guy right here. Bam. Was able to make him miss. Bam. He was supposed to be stopped right there. Bam. That wasn't even supposed to have been a first down, let alone a touchdown. So when you hear me talk about playing on script and off script, that's what I mean right there. It's easy for you to come out and exceed when everything goes the right way. Now, the biggest question is, what do you do when everything doesn't go the right way? Now, don't get me wrong. I love to see the 60-yard touchdown runs, the 70-yard touchdown runs, but I think that I'm old school because I'm at heart, I really love the hard-nosed, gritty, in between the tackles type running, which Jeanty displays on this play right here. Once again, having to get it out the mud, having to play off script. Look at how many people had clear shots. Now, his power and his balance is amazing, but look at how many people once again had a shot at him right here in the backfield. Bam, 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 bam. That wasn't supposed to have been a first down, let alone, again, a touchdown. But he has the power. And I think a lot of it, too, really is just the determination to say, OK, I'm getting in this end zone. I don't care what y'all do. I will, I'm going to find my way to the end zone. And you like that type of running down in the red area, like as you've seen right here, which I've seen a lot of his touchdowns, especially in the 6 touchdown game. I think majority of them came, if I'm not mistaken, from the red area. And you love that. You like to have that level of confidence that once we get down there, OK, push come to shove, we just hand that thing off in the backfield to Jeanty, and he going to do the rest of it. And if we can even just secure maybe 1 block or maybe 2 blocks just to kind of even just give him a potential matchup with a person one-on-one, we're very confident in his playmaking ability that he's going to be able to make the play, whether that's him. And something else that's interesting too, I know on one long run, I did see him kind of juke one time, but it's like, for the most part, everything has been just downhill running. You know what I mean? If you get in his way, he's just going to go through you. And that's pretty much what he did on this play right here. So like I say, man, you love to see that out of your running back, especially when you get down there in the red area when things are a lot more confined. Once again, we got some more off script action right here. As soon as the ball is handed to him, he's met in the backfield immediately by a defender. He's able to shake free from that defender, and then he had another guy that had an opportunity of possibly getting him and stopping him right here. Bam. Then you had this guy right here that could have possibly got him, and it still would have been either a no gain or a loss. But he was able to make both of those guys miss and take what would have been maybe at the most a 1 yard gain and able to get a first down out of it, man. So it's just watching this guy is like it's just like watching someone playing a video game and the difficulty is on easy and they're just able to just do whatever they want to do. And that's like that with Jeanty, man. It's like you think that you have him bottled up in instances, and then it's just like at the blink of an eye, you look up, he's 15 running down the field, running 10 yards or 15 yards down the field, either for a long first down or even for a touchdown, man. So like I say, this guy is very great at playing off script. So just imagine if he had a better offensive line. Now, I don't know if as a whole how good his offensive line is, because I think, like I say, obviously highlights only tells you one part of it. But man, when you look at a lot of these plays that he's making, man, he's supposed to be stopped before he was ever even able to get a yard or 2 yards, man, because he's being met as soon as he gets the ball, like here. But he's able to make something out of nothing, man. And that's just a trait that you don't really see with a lot of guys. Most guys are only as valuable as everything that's around them. Like I said, if they have a good offensive line, they got pretty good blocking receivers, then yeah, they can thrive. But if they don't have a good offensive line, if their receivers aren't blocking downfield and they kind of having to get it out the mud, they're not as effective as they would be if they did have everything the way that it's supposed to be. So, man, this dude had like a Saquon Barkley-like season, man. Like, once again, man, it's just watching this dude play, like I said in the previous clip, it's like watching someone play a video game and the difficulty is on easy. Like, it's just like he's having his way with defenses. And like to say, the most impressive part to me about all of this, if you look at a lot of these runs, man, he stopped initially right there. He stopped initially. Now, I like the little hesitation right there, to kind of, get the defender off balance, but he didn't really want to tackle Ashton Jeanty in no way. But then even the finish, man, just to have the pure determination to drag this dude another 5 to 8 yards for a touchdown, man. Like, it's just it's in the words of Shady McCoy, man, it's just crazy work, man. It's just, this is a compilation of off script playing, man. Like, it's just him having to make something out of nothing. And like I said, I don't know as a whole how good his offensive line was, because like I said, highlights only tells one part of the story, man. But from what I'm seeing, most of the time he gets the ball, he's met immediately with a defender and he's able to make a miss and turn something into nothing, man. So that right there is something that very few players possess. Like, I know I keep saying this, but I'll just be wanting you guys to get the importance of it. You have a lot of guys who can play on script. When the blocking is perfect, they can play at a high level. It's very few guys that when the blocking isn't perfect or idealistic, they can still give you the same results that they could give you with if everything was lined up the way it's supposed to be lined up. Your offensive line is blocking, your wide receivers are blocking downfield. Now it's much easier. But when you having to get that stuff out the mud on your own, and it's different, man. But I'm not gonna make this video super long, man, because it's just big play after big play. But as a whole, I'm liking what I've seen. One thing I would have liked that I kind of want to see a little bit more, which I'm not saying that he can't, I just would have liked to kind of see it, is him in passing. But like I say, when you got a guy like that's doing this on the ground, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if we having that much success with this, why try to deviate from the plan? Until they can find a way to stop it, then we're going to keep doing it. And I think that's probably what it was. But, I would have liked to kind of seen him in the passing game, kind of maybe see his route running, obviously, based off the evolution of the game as a running back now. The traditional running back is kind of in the pass. Now you have to be able to contribute in the pass game, whether that's screen plays, whether that's you lining up in the slot, and depending on your offensive coordinator and depending on your versatility, even lining up outside the numbers like you see guys like Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey do. And something else I would like to kind of see too is that, obviously going to the next level, you're going to have to be able to put more pieces in your bag, and one of those is rush blitz pickups. Can you pick up blitz? Can you give your quarterback time, just that extra 3 seconds to be able to get a pass downfield with you picking up the right block at the right time? So that's also something that I would have wanted to see from him as well. But in terms of him just running the ball, man, I mean, it was not the like. He's fast. He has explosive play capability. He's physical. He's an in between the tackle type of runner, which is what I love. But then he's also a running back. They can bounce it to the outside if need be. Like I said, if he has to play off script and he got to create something, he can do that as well. So he has tremendous balance. I mean, most of the time when you're looking at him, man, he's bouncing off of tackles, and he's barely even losing speed. You know what I mean? Like I say, like, look at this play right here. He didn't slid out of maybe 2-3 tackles, and he still was able to take the ball the length of the field for a touchdown, man. So what's not to like about him? So I see why a lot of people was up in the uproar to an extent when Travis Hunter got the Heisman over him, because like I say, man, I get Travis was doing some great things, but the stuff that this dude that I've seen, and man, this is like maybe probably only 3 games. I can only imagine how it was over the course of the whole year, man. So I would say I'm impressed on that. But man, as if it is video, man, if you did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man, smash that thumbs up button. Also, man, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure that you have that notification bell on. That way you be notified every time I upload, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man, I might even do a part 2 to this, because it's still so much left from that video, but we'll see. But man, stay tuned for that, and I'll see y'all in the next video.